Hi, Mario.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Got cool today.
Yeah,
Cool off.
nice, nice.
Yeah, it's like fall is starting. But you'll see, Yom Kippur will be 100.
Yeah, I know.
Always.
Isha says winter is there already.
Already? Really? Well, it's in the September, so.
No snow, but very cold.
Oh, when is he coming here?
30th.
Oh, good. He'll escape.
Oh, if it's a sunny day, he'll be lying in the back. It will be 60 degrees, but if it's sunny, he'll be lying in the sun. But it's not going to be hot. They had first forecasted hot weather.
Yeah.
Saturday is going to be 78, Sunday 82, Monday is going to be warmer, 85.
Okay. It's not over yet.
No.
I remember October is usually pretty nice month. It's warmer than June sometimes. June is a
Yeah.
crappy month. June
Yeah,
gloom.
but I see you're wearing a jacket.
For me?
You're cold?
Yeah, my housekeeper is here and she turns the air conditioning on full blast.
Oh,
So tell her not to.
Who do you think runs the house?
I can see.
Yeah. I'm just an employee.
Here is also a tug of war between Ezi and us.
The temperature?
He wants it cold, and I
Oh.
want it not.
Yeah,
Eileen is freezing today. Can you imagine? I don't know. Something's
Yeah.
wrong with her.
One of my son-in-laws is like that. So the room he uses upstairs, he has the air on full blast. I can't even go in. They hang meat there at night. It's so cold.
It's like my oldest granddaughter. Her room is a refrigerator.
Really? I
She's
heard you said she's 18 already?
18, yeah.
Wow.
She
Where'd
went
the
to
time go?
she's in seminary this year.
Crazy.
I know.
Do the Israelis go to seminary in America? They do the reverse?
No, but you want to hear it's interesting. She went to the seminary.
Yeah.
And okay, so they accepted it, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, not long ago, actually, a month or two ago, they told her she can't come. She says, "Well, what do you mean she can't come?"
Yeah.
It's in Israel.
Yeah.
It's for Americans, and they
Yeah.
don't accept this. They don't accept Israelis.
Oh.
Even though she's an American living in Israel, they didn't want to accept her for that reason. So anyhow, so my Sabrina fought and this and that. At the end, they did take her.
Yeah.
But she's not allowed to go home like whenever she wants.
Oh, she has to stay there.
Either there or she has to go on weekends. She cannot every off Shabbos. She cannot go to her parents' house. She has to go someplace else.
Where is it?
The thing is the cemetery is in Yerushalayim.
Oh, Yerushalayim.
Yeah.
Okay, be a good experience for her, I suppose.
She can come to us. I said, so go to your grandparents.
Oh,
you know?
right. That's it.
Johnny,
Walter, I downloaded that information from Rabbi Lappin. Very good.
yeah, did you listen to any of the?
Not today. I saw about the wine and the vinegar.
How you like that? It's good. I knew you would like that one.
It's clever.
Very clever.
Nice twist.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It's good for that. That's what wine is about. So it's nice.
Yeah.
In case they say you're aging, Harold, that's what you can say.
I know already. No
You're
one has
only
to tell me.
getting better. You're only getting better.
Yeah, right.
Like a fine wine.
Yeah.
We are on Pei Hey Amid Aleph, 85. We're talking about how to be koine items. Caleb should adam koine lo b'chol makom. If I have a backpack and it's mine, and the seller puts it in my backpack, I am koine the item, no matter where I am. Chutz m'reshus sarabim. In reshus sarabim, if someone puts something in my backpack or my box that I'm carrying or whatever, my kli, it's not koine. Because you can't be koine in Rishus Harabim. But Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Tamar Tavai, Afilu Rishus Harabim. No, my kalim can acquire something, put into it, even in Rishus Harabim. But Rav Papa, lo pligi, there's really no machlokes. Kan Rishus Harabim mamish. When we say that a kli cannot be koine, that's a real Rishus Harabim. But Khan, when Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish said that it can acquire, that's besimta. Simta, remember we said, was that it's a side area of the Rishus Harabim where you're allowed to put your kalim down. In full Rishus Harabim, you can't put your backpack down, somebody might trip over it. But in the simta on the side, you can. Amai karilo. Now, why do you call the simta karilo Rishus Harabim? Because it's ein Rishus HaYochid. It's not a complete Rishus HaYochid. Achadami mistavra, and this makes sense. Dam Rav Avam Rav Yochanan Kelev shel Adam koine lo b'chol makom sheyesh lo rishus lahamichol. My backpack or any of my kalim has the ability to be koine for me any place where I have rishus to put my kli down. So I have rishus in a simta, not rishus harabim. Yesh lo rishus in, ein lo rishus lo. In rishus harabim, I don't have rishus to put it down, but I do have it in a simta. Shema mina, that's the understanding when Rabbi Yochanan says afilu rishus harabim, it means besimta. Toshma. Arba midas b'moichrin. There are 4 ways by which you can acquire something that you buy. So the first case is ad shelo nismale hamida. So this is talking about where a measuring kli was loaned to the 2 of them. Neither of them owns this measuring kli. It's a third party that's loaned it to them. Now, as he's filling wine, let's say the buyer wants to buy a liter of wine and he's filling 200 cc's, 500 cc's. While he's filling it, the wine still belongs l'moicher. And he can always go back on the deal, he hasn't finished. However, mishin ismala mita, once the measuring kli is full, and now the buyer can take it and hide it or put it in one of his kalim, because for that purpose it was loaned to them. So as long as it's filling up, it stays in the reshus of the mocher, and you can't acquire it yet. But once the konet acquires it through Mashiach or Agba, once it's filled, so now it becomes as if the kli of the buyer, because that's for what purpose it was loaned to him. And it seems like if this is happening in Rosh Hashanah, it's occurring even in Rosh Hashanah. So that's why the Gemara brings us a Torshma. And when does this work? It's not a measuring device that belongs to either of them, was loaned to them. But let's say the measuring device belonged to the seller or to the buyer. Then Rishon Kona, if it belongs to the buyer, as he puts material into the measuring device, the buyer acquires it. And if it belongs to the seller, it remains with the seller, even if the whole thing is full. And where is all this taking place? Either b'shus harabi or v'chotzer she'ein shel shneim. It's a chotzer that is a third-party chotzer, doesn't belong to either of them. Aval b'shus moicher, if they're doing this transaction in the possession of the moicher, lo yikana ad she'agbieno ad she'yotzi mershuso. The buyer cannot acquire any of this until he actually does hagbah, or he takes it to his rishus. If all of this activity is happening b'shus lokeach, in the chotzer of the buyer, kivin shekibel lav moicher, once the moicher has agreed to sell it, and I'm going to be coining it to you, so the lokeach is coining it right away.
Yeah, Ernie, in
Yes.
all this discussion, there's no transfer of money discussed.
Not yet, yeah, because remember, Mina Torah, Kesef is koine for everything. But the Rabbanon made a gzeira that Kesef is not koine. Because there's a concept of Shematisrof Chita Baaliyah, meaning I have a warehouse and I have wheat in the warehouse. And Harold, you come along to me and pay me $1,000 for the wheat. Mina Torah, the wheat's yours already. The problem is, since you haven't taken possession of it, and it's in my warehouse, it burns up, I'm not going to have any incentive to watch it very well because I've sold it. You follow the concept?
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's why Chachamim came up with this concept of Mashiach. I've got to bring it into my possession. Because otherwise a buyer can be damaged.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but Ernie, I think it's also from a pasuk. It's in there's a pasuk.
Not a pasuk. Kesef is koine midoraisa.
No, kesef is doraisa, but
And
also
midrabanan.
Mashiach is also there. There's also something to do with Mashiach. I look it up. There's something to do with Mashiach also comes in with that to be koine with Mashiach.
Well, Mashiach or Hagbah or Masira, all of these,
Right, all those
all
things.
of these kinyanim have
And that's all the
solves
Rabban.
the
There's nothing
problem.
there's nothing doraisa from that.
because we want the metaltalin to
Right.
be in the possession of the buyer so he can watch it properly.
Okay.
Otherwise-
I get it. Okay, I look it
For
up.
that concept. No,
I look-
that's these are all rabbinic zeros.
Okay.
The issue of kesef. So we're going through these Maisa Kinyanim because midrabanan, this is how you actually acquire it. Now, so we said, B'shus lokeach, kivin shekibel lav moicher, once the seller decides to sell it, kana lokeach. Now, B'shus halah mufkodim etzlo. Let's say the items that are being sold are with a third party. He was watching these items. So again, lo kana, the buyer doesn't acquire it, achi kabel alav, unless that shomer agrees to put it in a certain place in his place. Or achi yiskors makoman, or the buyer rents the place from that shomer. Now, this Toshma is a baraisa that the Gemara wanted to prove that Caleb Shel Adam is koine lo b'chol makom even bin Rishus Harabi. Because one of the things we said was right? So and we think it means a full-fledged Rishus Harabim. Right? My love Rishus Harabim mamish, lo simta. It's not a Rishus Harabim mamish, it's this side area, which we said, the reason why the buyer is kind of there, because he has the right to put his backpack down there. Why did it also have to mention it has to be similar to a chutzner that doesn't belong to either of them? A simta, they do have the right to put something down there. So let's not understand, why would you include it with that thing? It's not doimit to them. So the Gemara answers, my chutzner shein shel shneim nami shelo dahai kula v'lo dahai kula ela tarvayu. That means it's at least not a Rishus HaYachid, which is owned completely by me or completely by you. It's both of us have the right to put something down in that symptom. Okay. Boy minei Rav Sheshes Ravuna. Kelev shelokech b'shus moicher. I walk into Walter's jewelry store, and I come in with my backpack. It's his rishus. And we decide on a deal. I pay the money, and Walter puts it into my backpack. The problem is I'm still standing in the rishus of Walter. Am I koine lokeach ola? Is the buyer koine there, even though it's in the seller's rishus? So amalei to nisua. We want to answer from our Mishnah, or from a Mishnah regarding get. The husband gives a get into his wife's hands. Zarkula, the husband throws a get to his wife. L'soch cheka or l'soch kalsa, into her arms or into a basket. Hareza megureshes, even though she's standing in the Rishus Habal. Comes out, the Gemara wants to learn from here that the kelim of a lokeach will be koine b'Rishus HaMoicher. Amalei Rav Nachman, no. My time of Pashlemet, why are you bringing this example? The mochu leimeh uchli b'uchla. This suk has already been hit by 100 sticks, meaning the Chachamim gave explanations why this case of a get, throwing it into the arms of the wife or into her basket, is different. This wasn't just a basket, it was a basket that was hanging by her neck. So it's as if it's in her hand. As long as it's tied to her, even if it's not hanging. The basket was between her thighs. It's not hanging, but it's as if it's on her body, so it's kind of by her. That's why it's kind of, but not, you can't learn from these cases a regular consumer trying to buy something, whether his kli is going to be kind of something. You know what? This husband, his business was selling baskets. So he was not makpid on baskets that are in his chutzner that she's holding, and he put the get into there. It's as if he gave her that it should be hers. The place of her arms where you put it in her like by her chest, it's as if it's pointed there. Makom kalsakanila.
Yeah, but by the way, they translate chayke as a lap. It's in her lap.
Yeah, lap or in her arm. Like when you chayka means in her arms, like the chayk. You hug somebody. That place is koine to her. And Amar of my time Rav Yechel if Yishain Adam Makbid Lo Makam Chaykav Lo Makam Kolsa. The husband doesn't care about those places. That he's makbid, that it's even though it's in his rishus. It doesn't take up a lot of place, but it's clear from all of these examples that the case of a get is a unique case. We can't learn it to our shaila about whether the kelim of a lokeach is coin in the rishus hamoicher. Rather, says the Gemara, Ella, pshat lo meha. I'll bring you from other cases in answer to this shaila. In a baraisa, it says, B'rishus moicher, if I'm in the rishus of the seller, lo ikona ad she'ak biena, or ad she'yotzin rishus. I'm not koine. That means if Walter gives me, puts something that I want to buy from him into one of my baskets or kli, I'm koine if I lift it, if I magbiya it, or if I take it out of his rishus. And aren't we talking about Mikhail of Shalok? We're talking about my kalim, my backpack, my basket. We're talking about Mikhail of Shalokeach. And just placing it by the moicher, if it's in his rishus, into my backpack, does not acquire it for me. I have to do these other actions. I have to be magbiyed or I have to take it out of his rishus. Low. That's not usable for our proof. Because here we're talking about the Caleb Shel Moicher. Walter in his store has a basket, has a bag where he puts choira in. And so we're not talking about the Caleb of the Koine, we're talking about his Caleb. And in that situation, I've got to be Magbiya it, or I've got to do Mashicha on it. But if it was my Kli, maybe my Kli would be Koine it. So the Gemara asks, if Midiresha be Caleb Shel Moicher, fine. If the first part of this brisa is talking about the seller's kalim, so a reish and a seifa have to be consistent. Seifa nami is be Caleb Shel Moicher. Well, let's learn the seifa, ema seifa. If all of this was going on b'shus lokeach, let's say this trend, Walter comes to my house to sell me jewelry. So we're in my rishus, we're in the buyer's rishus. Kivin Shekivin love moicher. Once the moicher agrees, shakes his hand, says Mazel Ubrocha, it's as if, like when you throw a get into the chutzner of a wife, and the wife owns the chutzner, she's divorced because my chutzner is koined. However, Iba Caleb Shel Moicher. But if you just told me the ratio and the safe have to be the same, and the item was dropped not into one of my kalim, but rather Walter comes with his own kli from Gumperts and Company, right? And it's still in that kli, amai kana lokeach. Why should lokeach be koine? Just because it's in my rishus doesn't mean anything. It's still in his kli. Oh, says the Gemara Seifa, Ason lekelev shalokeach. Einachanami. The ratio and Sefer are not the same. The ratio we're talking about the Kelev Shel Moicher, and the Sefer we're talking about the Kelev of the Lekeach. Umay Posca, where did you come up with this division? How can you just do it willy-nilly like this? It makes sense. Because Staba de Milsa, Be Moicher, Mani de Moicher Shchichi. In the offices of Gumperts and Company downtown, in that Rishus, what kalim do we have? We have the kalim of the moicher. Beloikech in my house, whose kalim are there mostly? Manid loikech shchichi. So it's not just stamazoi that we made up the baraisa to fit our case. That's going to be logically what we're going to see. Okay, so far we haven't proved one way or the other this issue, whether kalim shalokech b'shus moicher, whether it's kana lokech or not. This is a very important sugya. In Mominus, Amarav, Toshma. Moshach Chamarov, or po'alav. A chamar is a donkey driver, somebody who's in charge of leading the donkeys. The donkeys are loaded with merchandise, and there's a guy who's in charge of leading the donkeys. Or upo'alav, or workers that were schlepping various things. And these workers, he wants to buy these items. V'ichnisen l'soch beiso. And so his donkey driver was moshach these chamorim into his house. Or his workers that were schlepping things came, they were all brought into his house. Now, bein posak ad shlemoda, a price has been established, but they haven't measured the schoira yet. That means they agreed to $5 a pound. Whether they've agreed to the price and they haven't measured, or bein modad ad shloy posak. Let's say they've measured, there's 500 pounds, but they haven't agreed to a price yet. While these items are on the backs of the workers or on the donkeys, shneim yecholim lachzor behem. Both the buyer and the seller can go back on the deal. It's not a complete deal. However, pirkan v'chnisal zoch beiso, if it's been unloaded, we'll see what the continuation of the case is to see what the proof is going to be. Okay. So tomorrow, God willing, we will learn at 4:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
And Shabbos,